Hello, everybody, and welcome to this really special episode of the Closers Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Marco Alvarado, and joining me, as always, is Quinn, the Moondog Kalani. Quinn,
Yay.
This is our second pod of the day. We're double dipping today, as sometimes the closers do.
Oh, yeah.
We are here, joined by a very special podcast guest, which I've been wanting to have on since the beginning of season 1, and I've been trying to get him on. It's never worked out, but finally, thank you to the power of Zoom, we are able to make it work. The white whale, the opener himself. We're the closers, the opener himself. Spencer Sifers, welcome to the show. You are the only other member of the Fantasy Football League, the TCP Alumni League, that has not been on the show. So now you're finally on. You're officially a closer as well. Mm-hmm. So welcome.
Hey. Welcome, guys. Thank you for having me.
No worries, brother.
Yeah.
We're happy to hear from you.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time. How's fatherhood?
Oh, man. Being a dad is probably the best thing that happened to me. Not going to lie.
Really? That's so awesome to hear. What do you feel? Because how old is your daughter? She's like 1 now, right?
Yep. She just turned 15 months. She's
Mazel tov.
She's about a year and a half almost. She's
wow.
Becoming old. Yeah, she's running around being a little crazy girl. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. What specifically do you remember that like changed? Like, was it more just because of course your life changed because you have to care for another human being, but like internally, what do you remember?
Remember about what? About being like when she came into my life?
Yeah, and like the changes within you that you saw yourself going through to become
just like
dad.
You never know the feeling until like you actually have a child or something. And like I didn't think anything of it all the way up until she was born. And then when she was here, I was just like, man, I love this girl. I never even met her. And so once she just came along, I just wanted to do whatever I could to be better for her. And it's worked out pretty good. So
that's pretty righteous. I feel like you hear, like, you know, when someone's like, I just had a kid, my whole life's changed, and you don't have a kid, you're like, all right, sure, yeah. But hearing it from you, man, it's more believable than it is hearing it from anyone else. I feel it more. I believe it more.
Yeah,
I
agree.
It's definitely just a crazy thing, and like you'll never experience it till you actually experience it. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I mean, I'm hoping that I eventually will, but I mean, you just never know with life. Life is crazy.
Oh no, you will. Hopefully, I mean that was my ultimate goal in life. Honestly, was to have a kid one day, and it just kind of happens out of nowhere. So.
I remember you saying that, dude. I remember you saying that back in the day when we'd be like, what do we want to do with our lives after the store or whatever? And I remember you saying you just wanted to be a dad.
Just expect it. It could happen at any time.
Yeah. It is interesting. You mentioned the store, Quinn. That is actually how we know Spencer. Spencer, when Quinn and I were the closers of the establishment that we worked at, Store 1040. We can mention it now.
40.
Now, like, Spencer was the person who opened the store every day when we closed it. So, Spencer, you and I met. Well, actually, all three of us met in 2016, if I remember correctly. That's when I started the store.
It was a while ago. I know you left and you came back, I'm pretty sure is how it all worked out.
Yeah.
If I'm not correct.
Yeah, and you were you were the opener when I got there again, and I was like, who's this guy? Like, okay, I guess I gotta get to know like a bunch of new people. Everyone's just new.
Yeah, so I opened the store. I worked at a Lodi UPS store for about 2 years, and I was the opener there. And then I got fired during Christmas season. I got fired literally on Christmas Day.
Bruh.
And
that's
then
crazy.
It was pretty crazy. And then maybe about 6 months later, I went and applied to the Elk Grove UPS store, different owner, all that stuff, and got hired there. and ultimately just got thrown into being the opener again because that's what I was doing for 2 years before. And then went on with opening the store, met Marco. You started coming in doing the 10 o'clock, and Quinn, he got hired on. I even remember your interview, Quinn, when you were getting hired on.
Did you show up in sandals, Quinn?
I don't know if I showed up in sandals, but I remember it was a shoe-in since my mom did the interview.
Yeah, your mom. That's how you were hired, Quinn. I remember you filled your mom's spot when your mom left. That's how it was. Yeah, but
so
I met Marco and Quinn from the UPS store.
It's funny because I remember, Spencer, when you and I first met. I remember, like, I didn't know anything about you. You were just like another guy, and I was just like, okay, like, I want to make this guy like be okay with me. I don't want him to like hate me. And I remember one of the first things I asked you was just like, so do you watch sports? And in that moment, you were like, yeah, I'm a Niners fan. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not a Niners fan, but like, I think we have a common ground here. And eventually, all three of us and a bunch of other people that have been on the show started a fantasy football league. And we've done that ever since. You just won the fantasy football league this past season. So congratulations to the reigning champion of the league. You beat my mom to get there in the championship game, and she couldn't have been more happy to lose to you because you just had your daughter. So she was very happy that she was able to that I was giving the money to you. I'm your mom's biggest fan. I'm literally root for her every year in the fantasy league now. Really?
Yeah, ever since being her, I was just like man, to beat anybody, like if I would have lost to your mom that day, I would not have been mad at all. But if I would have lost to like say like Evan or Quinn or you like that day, I would have been pissed. But I was playing your mom, and I was like shit, if she wins, it's whatever. She can win. I'll get second place. But
yeah, dude. I
ended up lucking out and winning with fucking Joe Mixon and Kenyon Drake. They just balled out like for like 40 points or something. I don't know.
I think it's a consensus that everyone in the league doesn't mind losing to LaPatty, but hates losing to everyone else.
yeah, literally. Yeah,
she's first place, isn't she? Right now, she's
she's fourth. She's fourth.
She lost.
She dropped down then, because it's been a roller coaster this year. It's been a lot of close games.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's funny how, like, every year she's in it, dude. She's always in the top, like, 4 teams every year. It's just crazy. And my dad, who's been watching football since, like...
the bottom 4.
Dude, he's just been in the bottom team. He's the freaking Browns of this league. He just can't get anything.
Jamarcus MVP rides again. It's the perfect moniker.
It is.
He's kicking my ass this week, though. I'm playing him right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's kicking my ass.
Who did he have? It's interesting because like he hasn't really done a lot, but like in the past couple of weeks he's like surged. I'm looking at the standings right now.
He beat me recently. I know that.
I can't say it, but like father, like son.
Hey, I was in the playoffs last year, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, Marco. Your team always looked good. I'm like, damn, Marco drafted good, and then the season starts, and then you're like, oh, Marco's 2-3 or 2-5.
Bro.
Like, you're like, what?
It's just like the first season we had. So I'll just tell a quick story. This is where like I got clowned the most ever, I think, at that store because of my first season in fantasy when I was the Sus Boys, and I had to rebrand from the Sus Boys to the Grave Boys because the stink of the shit I was thrown to me that season was terrible. I drafted Ezekiel Elliott thinking he was going to be like the best. That was his contract year when he was holding out, and I took the gamble on him, and I was like, all right, he's going to get paid. I'll be fine. This fool didn't get paid forever. And then I was like, fuck it. fuck Ezekiel Elliott. I'm done.
He was suspended too for a couple games because he beat the shit out of that woman.
Yeah. So
allegedly.
Threw your whole season off. He's like that this year for me now because fucking Dak Prescott got his whatever. I don't know what he injured, but he got season-ending injury when he was like throwing for the most passing yards of all time.
Right. I snapped his ankle.
Yeah, dude, it was straight.
Yeah,
like,
his
really
whole
bad.
his ankle fell off or something. That shit
pretty much, dude.
It was bad. Yeah, it was really bad.
That's pretty much what happened.
But he was balling out, and I had Zeke, Dak, and CD Lamb, like all Cowboys players this year, and they were doing good at first, and then Dak got injured, and then I started quarterback for a minute, and I got injured, and then
it's funny because in my season when I had Zeke, yeah, he was suspended, and then he was holding out, and so Chris Hogan that season was like balling with the Pats. He was balling. Like he caught a touchdown every game for like 8 weeks straight. And I was like, this guy's money. And Zeke literally has done nothing for me this season. I am at my last hope and I need to just take a shot. And Chris Hogan, I know for a fact I could get him. I have a good feeling I will gamble with him. Literally, I trade Chris Hogan to the eventual champion, Thomas Wheaton, who has also been on the show in the first season. And for Chris Hogan, Thomas Wheaton ends up going all the way to the fucking championship with Zeke because they signed the contract literally the day after I make the trade. I get Chris Hogan. Chris Hogan doesn't do shit the rest of the season, and I'm just the worst. And yeah, it took me a long time to live down that season at that store because Anthony would give me shit about it. You guys would give me shit.
I give you shit. I gave you shit. I remember that. I remember that trade now that you're talking about it. He literally traded Zeke and then for Chris Hogan. And I was like, damn, that's so much to give up. A first round for maybe like a fifth round or fourth round. Granted, Chris Hogan was balling, but
yeah,
you traded Ezekiel Elliott, who's like potentially a number one pick of all fantasy. And I was like, damn.
I remember imploring you, like begging you to try to get you to trade Zeke to me while he was suspended, like being like, Marco, can I talk to you in the back? so you, Evan, and Anthony wouldn't hear, and I'd be like, yo, what do you want for Zeke?
Was Anthony in on the first season, or what? Did he come in the second season?
No, he was the inaugural season.
Really? I thought it was the same season as Aaron when Aaron played, or was Aaron was the second season?
No, second season was when everybody joined. Second season was the round where we turned from 10 to 12, I think. And
that's also when we switched to PPR.
Yeah, so Aaron and Anthony came after, and then because my cousin Mariah was in.
Yep, that's
the first season.
Yeah, the first season it was me and Spencer in the championship.
Yes.
And Quinn won, I think.
On Todd Gurley's shoulders, man. That was like Todd Gurley's last hurrah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I didn't. Okay, so Thomas.
Yeah.
So Thomas didn't win that season. He just got far. He
won. I beat him in the round of the playoffs in the upset.
He was the 1 seed, and you were the 4th. Yeah.
Right, and then it was Spencer versus LaPatty.
Yeah.
In the other round of the playoffs. That's where that rivalry started,
dude,
man.
The friendliest rivalry of all time. Like
you aren't lying about that. Like friendliest rivalry ever. Every time I face her, I'm just like, all right, here we go. It's gonna be a good game, but I don't care who wins this.
It always is a good game too.
Yeah.
It's always prime time. Like if you could watch fantasy football live, like that would be a primetime matchup every season. It'd be like Bears Packers. You always have a Bears Packers game Sunday night football.
We're the Sunday night game. That's for sure.
Always. It's very interesting. But speaking of this season, Spencer, how do you feel about your chances this season? I know you're losing to my dad improbably currently, but
I don't know, honestly. Like my squad's been thrown around, picked apart. I've drafted freaking Joe Mixon in every single league this year because he carried me last year and he's on IR currently. So, and then Joe Burrow, it was looking good, but Joe Burrow, then he's out. So now the Bengals they're already bad. Now they're just horrible. So So I'm still looking all right. I think I'm sitting at 5th place right now. So
Right.
I feel that.
Do we have
It's
like
not
a
like
big? There's a big log jam in the middle of our league, like 7-5 between 7-5. Yourself, Spencer. Pawan is 7-4. You're 7-4. Drew's 7-4. LaPatty is 7-4. It's like a giant log jam at 7-4, and then my ass at 6-5, right behind you guys.
Are you?
Yeah, you were in. Quinn was looking good. Quinn was looking good until he lost last week. I think
To my
Right.
dad.
Right,
Yeah,
How is my dad being good all of a sudden?
he dropped out of like playoff contending off of one loss to Marco's dad over here.
Dude, I would literally need to win out, and then I need like you, LaPatty, and Pawan to lose out
Yeah.
to make it back in. Like, I'm a long shot. It's been a wild fantasy season, though, man.
It has.
Very close this season.
Up until like a week ago, I also
Right.
was kind of in the mix for a second too. Like I could have resurged, but I mean that didn't happen.
No, that's a
He
stretch.
took like 4 L's in a row, and I was like, all right, bye, Marco.
Dude, because I started the season 3-0, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I'm feeling it this year. It's going well." Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett.
Calvin Ridley was balling. I was like, man, Marco's the team this year, and then you just went on a 4-game loss streak. I was
Dude,
like,
I
okay.
always do that. Some stupid shit always happens. This year, what fucked me over was
Quarterback, dude. Your quarterback positioning is weak, bro.
yeah, Matt Ryan is just up and down. He was balling in the beginning of the year, and then once he stopped, it was done. And then like AJ Brown was out for the first couple weeks, but he's back finally. He's done well. Calvin Ridley. I should be beating Poen this week, but he has Tyreek Hill, who's put up 60 points, bro.
Oh man, he had 200 yards in the first quarter. Holy cow! That's the most. He put up the most yards in one quarter in the history of the NFL today.
Dude,
I was
and
like,
then
holy
Travis
shit.
Kelce, it just became the first tight end to ever get 5 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah,
Dude,
tight end this season is like weak, but the only Travis Kelce is the only tight end that's like actually doing stuff this season.
yeah, it's crazy.
You know what else is pretty crazy? This Rams-Niners game, man.
You watching it right now?
Yeah, I got it in like a little mini player, dude. Spencer, I think this is like the real rivalry of the NFC West, Rams-Niners, man. I feel like this is always a gnarly game, a close game. What was it like 2 years ago? We played on Thursday night, and it was like 50-48 or some wild score.
It's always the Rams, even when like the Rams are like the worst team in this division that we're in. That's like the best division now with the Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, and Niners. But even when the Rams are bad, they would play the Niners, who are like killing it, and then
super tough.
And the Rams would always beat the Niners all the time, even when the Rams were bad. But
I actually feel like your Niners are the second best team in the NFC West, right behind the Rams. I really believe the Niners, if healthy, are better than the Seahawks and the Cardinals.
Wow.
I really, truly believe that, man.
Me too. I believe it. It's just the Niners are plagued with the whole injury thing. Ever since Shanahan's came under the coaching thing,
right?
You'll have Jimmy G injured, and then this year again, Jimmy G's injured. You got McKinnon, who was injured when he was expecting him to be all good and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now he's playing.
Bosa,
Bosa and their other guy on the other side went out. I forgot his name, but he's huge too. He's the guy that got that contract for Buckner that got traded.
Was it Armstead?
Yeah, Armstead. I think that's what it was. He got injured the same game that Bosa got injured.
Yeah, they both went down. Yeah, and that's the same game Mostert went down. Like, and everyone went down.
Richard Sherman just came back today.
Yeah, Richard Sherman.
He came back and got a pick, which was cool, but he was out too. So, like, we literally had like 16 players or starters injured at one time, and I was like, holy cow!
And then on top of that, COVID. So it's like,
I saw a stat in the pregame that said the Niners have been impacted more so than any other team in this league by injuries and COVID.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think
their whole receiving core last week was under COVID. They had nobody. That the rookie Brandon Ayuk or whatever his name is, he looks good.
Him. Yeah, he's good.
Him and Debo, they both look good, but they're either injured or under COVID, or they don't have a quarterback to throw it to them. It's just a mess right now.
Are you a believer, Spencer, long term in Jimmy G?
No. Me personally, I think Jimmy G, ever since he injured his knee or whatever, or his ankle the first season that he got injured, he doesn't plant his back foot how he should. And he's getting no power into his throws. Of course he's better than Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard, but Jimmy G's, I don't feel like he's the long term.
Yeah.
Like if we could get a gem like Justin Herbert or something like that in a draft who's like similar to him, and just go from there.
Well, that leads me to my question that I actually was planning on asking you before Quinn asked the perfect setup for me. I have been on this podcast saying for the past like 2 months that if there's any team that should trade up for Trevor Lawrence that could win right now, it is the 49ers. Would you want them to trade for Trevor Lawrence, trade up? Of course, they're going to have to give up a little bit, or not a little bit, quite a bit, to get to that spot where the Jets are probably going to end up. But how would you feel about that?
I would give up the whole squad for Sunshine. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he's the man, but I feel like if he figures out that he's going to the Jets, he's just going to be like, all right, I'm going to stay at Clemson another year.
Yeah.
Right.
And just write his options that way, because he hasn't declared to go into the NFL draft yet. He's just waiting out his options. But Trevor Lawrence, like, he's the man.
He's the real deal.
Like, he could run a little bit. He could throw. He's just very accurate. And I mean, he'd be like a Joe Burrow. He would just be able to change our whole offense and be able to throw it 30, 40 times. But the thing with the Niners is Shanahan, he likes to do that weird, like, plays where he just runs it all the time. But I think it's also because Jimmy G he just doesn't have a good long ball. Yeah. He's accurate, but he doesn't have a long ball.
He's like a check down, intermediate pass kind of guy.
He learned from Brady. I mean, Brady, when he was in his prime, he had a good long ball, but Brady's always been a check down passer like Breeze. They both just like to check down.
Right. Yeah.
And of course, Jimmy G's, I mean, he's all right, but he's just nothing like, you see people coming into the league like Kyler Murray, and he's over here like doing 360s and throwing it up to Hopkins because for some reason the Texans traded him.
Dude, that was the dumbest trade ever.
And that's why Bill O'Brien doesn't have a job.
Yeah, and he probably won't for a long time. Yeah, that trade was stupid. They made no sense.
Yeah, it made no sense, but yeah, I don't know. Jimmy G, I feel like that type of game style is just in the past almost. The pocket presence.
Yeah.
Unless you're like I said, like Justin Herbert, he's killing it. He has he's averaging over 300 yards and whatnot. So
yeah.
Dude, he's runaway rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no argument.
Now that Joe Burrow got injured, I think there's nobody else that could be rookie of the year besides him.
Yeah.
He's throwing 300 plus and he always loses, but still.
He's balling, man. I was talking to Anthony the other day about the state of the Chargers, and he was, all butthurt about it. But the lone bright spot that he has is Justin Herbert. He's a franchise quarterback, man.
Definitely. Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen to maybe Eckler once he gets happy. But him and Keenan Allen, like, you just throw it up to him and he'll be catching it. It's crazy. Austin Eckler came back today, and that dude had 11 catches today. I was like, what the hell?
Man. He had like 20 fantasy points.
Yeah, for off 11 catches. Like, and he just came off of IR, and it's just, you could tell that the Chargers are ready to throw because they got Justin Herbert, who's 6'6" and could throw it like the whole field if he wanted to.
Right. The Chargers are close, man. They're close. They're a few pieces away.
Yeah, they're decent. There was some stat saying today that they have the top 3 offense and the top 12 defense, but they're still losing every game, which is crazy.
I think most of their losses have been decided by one possession. Like, they've only lost by a touchdown or less in most of their games.
Yeah, they'll lose like in the craziest ways. But I'm rooting for the Chargers, even though I think they need to go back to San Diego. But I'm still. For sure.
Or come up here to Sacramento.
Yeah, anywhere besides LA. Like, they're just overshadowed by the Rams because they went to the same stadium, and then the Rams make a stadium that looks just like their Rams logo. And then they're like, all right, Chargers, you could join in on us too and play here.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, it wasn't a good deal for the Chargers. I was honestly really surprised that they didn't renew their contract with the stadium at San Diego.
Yeah, it made no sense why they would move.
They're the third most popular NFL franchise in Los Angeles, behind the Rams and the Raiders.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and the nobody expected COVID to happen though too. So I mean,
right.
COVID threw a lot of the fan base and all that.
San Diego's a city that deserves a team too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Chargers have always been the one team whose fan base is like, I don't even know who's a fan of the Chargers, but there's gonna be some of them out there.
Well, it's always a surprise, right? It's always like, oh, you're a Chargers fan.
Yeah.
Well,
you're not a Raiders fan. You're not a 49ers fan.
Yeah. You're a
Chargers fan.
And it's funny because, like, with Herbert, if he's as good, if he continues his play, I think there's a lot of kids now that are just getting into football, becoming fans of football. Maybe they don't really have a team, or they want somebody to identify with. I think Herbert and Mahomes are like the two that are going to be like looked at a lot, like at least from kids out in the West Coast.
And
especially
Kyler Murray too.
And Kyler,
he's fun to watch.
He looks like a kid running around.
He does look like a little boy. He looks like IT. Little boy throwing in this, flinging it.
Dude, it's hella funny because
I'm almost becoming a Cardinals fan over a Niners fan this season. But
those are strong words.
Dude, dual threat quarterbacks are the future of the NFL. Like, every team will have to have one at some point.
Yeah. Until they get injured or something, because that's kind of like the RG3 story on the Redskins. He was looking all crazy, and then they're running, and then he gets cracked all hard and then breaks his leg or breaks his arm or anything. And
right.
Yeah.
But then you got Russell Wilson, who's been doing it for 10 years now, and he was considered like the whole MVP of the league for a minute. Let him rest cook, but he slowed down a little bit after
we sent them plates back to the kitchen.
That's for sure. Me too. After week 8, he became like, sent them plates back to the kitchen for sure after week 8.
Chef Boyardee, dude. I hate how much love the Seahawks get when their defense is so historically bad. Their entire team is built around Russell Wilson. And if they didn't have Russell Wilson, they would be worse than the Jets.
I agree. They'd be one of the bottom teams for sure, because they were ranked 31 or 32 for defense for the past couple weeks, but then
Yeah.
every now and then they'll show up, and then but still they're not the Legion of Boom anymore.
I think that's
sure.
a testament to how like crazy Russell Wilson is. But even if he's off by a little bit, like he's off by just barely anything, and they lose the game just like they did against the Bills, just like they have in the past couple weeks. Yeah,
it is a testament to Russell Wilson's greatness, and it is a detriment to the coaching ability and general managership of the Seattle Seahawks. Their team defensively has historically gotten worse every year, and they don't particularly draft well either. Honest to God, they drafted DK, who was a outstanding pick. But has anyone heard anything from Rashad Penny?
No.
He's on the corner. Was going to be a bad pick.
He's on the corner collecting pennies. That's where Rashad Penny is.
Bro, you've been saving that one for a minute. I could tell.
DK though, DK was a good pick. That man's a fucking stallion. Have you seen him running?
He does look like a horse running down the sideline.
I hate his stupid ass binky, but man, he's a stallion.
Bro, what's crazy about the Seahawks is that their defensive coordinator is Ken Norton Jr., who was the defensive coordinator for the Raiders when Jack Del Rio was the coach of the Raiders, and they were terrible. But because he came from the Seahawks as a linebackers coach, what's his name? Pete Carroll was like, all right, come be our defensive coordinator. It's like, to me, it's no surprise why they're so shitty, because Khalil Mack was the big reason why that defense, that one year we were 12-4, and Carr got hurt. He was the main reason why that defense was able to keep us within games, and like not like our defense was trash, but just that one monster player was able to make up a lot of ground, much like Russell Wilson does for the Seahawks on the other side of the ball. But Ken Norton Jr. doesn't have that guy. He has Darius Slay, and Bobby Wagner's a little older, but they're not the same type of player as Khalil Mack. We're just game changer. And I think he really needs that type of player in order to be a good defensive coordinator. But that's just, anybody would need that player. Like, if I was given the opportunity to be a defensive coordinator, I would need a guy like Khalil Mack, because I wouldn't know what the fuck I'm doing, right? Like,
right.
I mean, yeah.
Khalil Mack being traded to the Bears was like John Gruden's worst thing, but that's like how he looked to DeForest Buckner when he traded him.
Yeah,
it's just they're trying to save cap space in the long run,
right?
And build up the team like for the future, because like,
but that's somebody you pay. That's somebody you got to pay, because it changes your whole defense. But I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what though? I think this trade is good. The Khalil Mack trade is going to work out in the long run for Gruden and the Raiders. Man, I mean, they got Henry Ruggs out of it, Josh Jacobs out of it. They've got some really
Jonathan Abram.
Yeah, they've got some really solid young players to build around, man.
Yeah, we do have a foundation now, which we didn't have before. So
right. I mean, you guys are in contention, like legitimate playoff contention now. So,
and what are the Bears doing? Honestly,
that's true. Yeah,
they're fighting for a wild card desperately.
They don't even know who their starter is. Their starting quarterback.
Right. They don't like any of their starting quarterbacks. That's what's pretty funny. But I want to pivot the conversation really to a little bit. It's funny though, because there is one starting quarterback that we always referred to you as, Spencer, when we would play flag football games every other Sunday back at the heyday of the A team at Store 1040, and that is TB12. I just want to know your secret, Spencer, because when we would play, I would be in cleats. Sometimes I'd have my gloves and shit, trying to like get any advantage I could, because I knew I needed fucking help. And you would come out here in a hoodie, fucking sweats and Vans with zero grip, like zero grip Vans, and you would just run for like 200 yards, proportionally.
We should also clarify that Spencer most often threw a perfect spiral, and Marco, your throws were so bad.
Oh my God, that's so funny, man. Literally, I'd be sliding on the grass. I don't know how it would be, but I'd be I'd catch like the most craziest touchdown pass that like on being tackled at the same time in a 2-hand touch.
Dude, there was always that one play where
There's the Spencer play, yeah.
The Spencer play where like somebody like Anthony chucks you the ball downfield and you're not supposed to catch this. Like Evan's all over you or whatever. It's just clearly like
you and Evan went hard. That was a rivalry right
that was
there.
A battle, man. Me and Spencer would guard each other to take breaks.
Yeah, it was like, all right, Quinn, we'd send this one out. Let them run this play.
Because we'd be so fucking winded.
But me and you had the craziest catches. I swear, we'd have that one play where we would just catch the ball and be a game changer.
Yeah,
but we would always come out with the surprise play.
It's like either Spencer, you would pick off Quinn, or Quinn would pick off you, and then it would just like change the entire game. Those are crazy days. Those are super fun.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I remember one time. The Christmas Day game. Were you there for that? Like the most like the one where Aaron got hurt. Were you there for that one?
I think so.
Where it was like,
yeah, and we had to like carry Aaron off the court or off the field or something like that.
Yeah,
he like was hobbling off and he couldn't play anymore.
Yeah, that one honestly was like the most intense game we had because everybody was on. I felt like everybody was kind of on. I mean, I ran back
except for Irwin.
Dude, he couldn't catch anything, but he was open every day. He was open all the time. He just
it's probably because I was covering Irwin, and Irwin would just, I'd look back, all right, see Irwin, you're fucking track star. That fool would run by me real quick, and then he wouldn't catch shit. I was like, all right, whatever. He can fucking run by me.
Yeah, you're like, he has no hands. I don't care.
Yeah. You can go boo and you drop it.
Yeah, that game was pretty funny, too, because I remember I caught a pass and like Irwin blocked Quinn and I ran it for a touchdown. And I thought my dad was there because we like live right by the field and he was going to come check it out. But he wasn't. It was just like Drew who saw it. And then like my dad comes after the play is done. And then like Quinn burns me on a route and scores on me like the next play. And I look at my dad and he just like is shaking his head. Just like...
Namdi Asamoah, you are not.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, bro, I can't ever win. Like, I can never fucking win.
That shit always happens. Like, that happened to Aaron. Aaron's parents showed up when we played under the lights at one time.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and Aaron, his dad shows up, and I'm trying to throw a deep to him, like fucking 40 yards. I can barely throw that far. And fucking... we had a cool play a couple times when his parents weren't there, but as soon as his dad showed up, I was throwing ducks. I couldn't hit Aaron for a wide open pass, and
yeah, I remember that.
And then his dad just like, looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, like my boy's open. Hit him with the throw. I'm like throwing fucking 5 yards out of bounds, and I don't know, it was fun. I had a pretty good arm compared to like I would pull up to the game and I'd see you throwing Marco and I'd throw.
I knew it. I knew that was coming. I know, dude. I that's the thing is like I feel like I definitely improved my throwing over the course of the time that we like were playing.
Yeah.
Like in the first game, terrible. That was fucking god awful.
You and Evan would have little warm ups like the day before playing catch and shit, and then I'd see you guys throwing when I showed up that day of our game.
Because I knew I needed it.
Both you and Evan couldn't throw. Evan was a little better than you at throwing, but Evan couldn't throw either. He'd probably throw like, and I'd come in there like not warmed up or nothing. With
I know you just straight sidearming it too.
And I'm
like,
I throw so weird, but it goes perfect.
Dude, yeah, it was weird.
Evan gave 110% every fucking play. Like he never chilled out on it, and he just ran down the field every time, just a fucking streak.
Yeah, he did. In the times he would try mixing somebody, he would just be stuck up and like being guarded real quick, just trying to shake shake Mark or whatever, then I'd throw it to him and it'd be a jump ball every time. But
yeah,
like
Do you guys?
it was so fun watching Marco versus Evan go at it, and I'm just over there being quarterback, waiting to throw it to one of the two. And then
Dude, we used to have side bets on if you guys would get into a fight at some point.
I think they did one time.
I think y'all came close. Y'all came close. I think you called Evan a fuck boy.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Get that out of here, you fuck boy.
Dude, it's because he was calling for pass interference when it wasn't pass interference.
Yeah.
And I was just
in
like,
a fucking backyard football game. Pass interference.
I know. I was like, what do you mean?
He would take it he would think it's like a legit like NFL game, trying to call penalties and shit. I'm like, Marco locked you up. What do you mean, Marco?
That's the thing.
Funny.
I just my greatest moment that I will never forget was, well, there was two. There was the game where I totally owned Evan and like he just couldn't do anything, and I scored like 4 times on him. And like everyone was just like looking at Evan like, bro, you're done.
You're washed.
Yeah. And then there was the other play where like there was another game where it might have been the same game, I don't remember, but like Aaron was on my team and he just chucked it down, and Evan just like gave up on coverage because he thought the play was over, and I just kept running, and I like he just hit me with a bomb, and I just like caught it in stride, and I just ran down the field. That was wild. That was a crazy play. That's like the only 2 things I'll ever remember that were positive.
Do you guys remember when we witnessed Evan get baptized by Anthony?
Oh, man.
When Anthony literally took that man's soul.
Dude, that was insane. Like
the game was over after that, I thought.
I think, yeah, because what were we playing? We were playing 2-hand touch, right?
No, we were still playing tackle then.
Oh, we were trying to play tackle, and then he fucking after
and
that.
Evan was like getting hyped because I think he had just scored a touchdown. He was like, yeah. And then Anthony literally leans over to Aaron. He's like, I'm gonna fuck him up.
And then Evan caught a ball. But dude, the thing is, Anthony has told me ever since that he was gonna ease up on that hit, but Evan lowered his shoulder like he was gonna try to go through Anthony, and Anthony was like, okay. He just fucking cracked him. It's ridiculous.
Speaking of this Christmas game, what's the over under on getting it going?
No, it's not. It's not happening. It's not.
You guys want to risk the pandemic and
no, I'm
throw
not.
some
No.
pigskin?
No,
I'll come out there and cough on all of you real quick. Don't let me do it.
That's exactly why it's not happening. I know Anthony wouldn't be down. Dude, after the last Christmas game last year, I knew it was done. That was the saddest game of football I have ever seen, even
Victor
at any
and Irwin
level.
showed up in fucking jeans like they just went to a party.
Was I at that one or no?
No,
I don't think I
you
was.
weren't there. It was us. It was me, Quinn, Anthony. There was another person named Anthony that was there, and then there was Irwin and Victor. That was it, and it was just the word. I was on the team with Anthony and Victor.
Oh man,
we didn't have a quarterback. I couldn't.
Sounds rough.
If I couldn't throw at the peak of like my ability to do anything on a field, I couldn't do anything. Like I had no business being out there. Like I'm super out of shape now too. So it's just...
Oh, you're out of shape. I'm out of shape.
I know. We're all out of shape, I think, now. I'm not as young as I used to be. Dude, I'm fucking about to be 24, dude. So like
I wish I was 24.
Right?
But...
I remember what my hair looked like at 24.
What did it look like?
Quinn, you bald yet or no? You still got some hair.
Not quite, man. Not quite.
Okay.
I look like the dude from Agent Aliens.
Agent Aliens. Come
I totally
on now.
forgot about that dude.
If I grow my hair out like long, like I haven't gotten a haircut in months, so my hair is naturally really curly and it just kind of afros out.
Yeah.
So if I don't cut it, like shave it, man, yeah, I'll be the aliens guy.
Right, you should be him for Halloween. So Spencer, aside from football, and football, is there anything else that's going on with you currently that is kind of interesting? How's the pandemic been for you?
I'm tired of the pandemic, honestly. I'm just ready for.
I think everybody is.
Yeah, I'm ready just for no more masks, no more anything. Just let's write it out and see what happens. But at the same time, like I've talked to multiple people who have experienced deaths and things that will change your mind about how COVID is. But for me, I haven't experienced any of that. I feel like I've had COVID early on in the early stages of it because I got really sick for a week. And I've talked to a lot of people who have had it or think they've had it. And it seems like it's not as bad as what it really is. But at the same time, it's something that if you get, you don't want to be around your family members because they could pass away from it. So,
yeah. Since we are younger, and we're not in a high risk group, but
yeah, we're younger, and if we get it, we're fine. But say my 91-year-old grandpa, if he gets it, he'll probably be done for. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Do you think they fucked up in the lockdown and stuff by constricting it blanket instead of saying, you know, if you're past a certain age, if you're in a certain group, stay home?
Yeah, I think that they should give certain people more freedom because the only people that are really affected by it, and it's a very low percentage of people that actually pass away from it, are the elderly people. And when you get an outbreak in elderly homes, which I monitor fire systems in elderly homes, and I've been to elderly homes that say they've had outbreaks of COVID there. They've had multiple people die. Niners just won, by the way. Fuck you, Quinn.
That's a Niners sweep, man. That's a Niners sweep on the year, dude.
That's crazy, man.
Niners swept the Rams on the year.
That's wild, man.
That hurts their playoff percentage for the Rams.
But
for sure.
Luckily, they did beat Tampa. Like,
yeah,
you'd rather have a Tampa win and a Niner loss than.
Oh well, I mean, Rams are going to the playoffs. It's just a matter of whether we're going to get the wild card or not.
Yeah, the whole new system though this year is a little weird. How they only have the one
bye.
Niners could get in feasibly. They just need Arizona to really fuck it up.
Yeah. Arizona would mess up, but their division's too hard. But yeah, anyways, with the whole coronavirus thing, yeah, it should be a blanket. And the thing with Mr. Newsom over here saying how
in the big White House downtown,
how he's talking about all this crazy stuff, but he's going to Thanksgiving parties and going to his wine winery, keeping open his winery and closing all the other ones and stuff. It's just. And then he goes and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a human too. It's hard on me and my family." But yeah, it's hard on everybody. But you're over here, the one locking down everything, re-locking down Sacramento County.
It's like, bro, you're the leader.
And we were doing fine. Yeah, we were doing fine. And then he's out here partying with the highest, like one of the high infectious disease guys. And they're like, no mask, no nothing, fucking yelling in a restaurant, and then the next week he's like, all right, we're locking back down, all the restaurants are closed inside again, and we're gonna be locked down for 2 weeks and 3 weeks, whoever knows how long it's gonna be. It's probably gonna go on for fucking 2 months. And then it was just nice seeing like things starting to open back up, and then all the businesses you talk to, restaurants you talk to, they're like all pumped up. They could actually have people inside again. And then they're like, all right, we can't be inside anymore. So.
Yeah. It is rough. I think that it's just, there has to be more accountability with the leadership. Cause I mean, at the end of the day, yes, like speaking to just what Governor Newsom said, that he's just human too and stuff. It's like, bro, you're the leader. Like, you are the governor of the state. Like, yes, you are human, but you're also the governor of the state, and you're held to a higher standard than like a normal citizen. Therefore, it's a slap in the face to businesses and people that have really sacrificed to try to keep others safe. And here you are not respecting the very orders you're enforcing. It's a very dumb, double standard. And all you're doing is making it more difficult for others to really want to follow what you say. Like that, now you're seeing businesses just totally being like, yeah, fuck the orders. Like, we're just going to open because we need money. And I mean, I can't blame them for doing that. I don't condone it, but it's like, all right, like, I see why people would be pissed, why people are mad. It's ridiculous. Even whole like Sac County Sheriff said they aren't going to enforce the curfew. They're just like, there's a curfew, but we aren't going to.
I mean, how can you enforce such a thing? I mean, it's getting to the point of utter ridiculousness, and this dude Newsom, man, is epically screwing the fucking pooch. Like you said, Marco, he should hold himself to an absolute higher standard. And the fact that, he's not, speaks enough volumes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's ridiculous.
And then I got coworkers out here saying, oh, Newsom's going to be the next president. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, he is going to run. That's what I've been hearing too. But I just...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Will he win, though? I don't think he will. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to look at how he's been conducting himself during this pandemic and everything that he's done with his, like, personal life and stuff like that.
I mean, we say that, but then again, Kamala Harris is VP, so...
Yeah.
Sure.
She's gonna be president in 2 years. She'll be president.
Yeah, because Joe Biden's done. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of time between now and 2024, so we'll see. But I have a feeling he definitely will run. But I just don't have faith that he would win.
I have complete and utter empathy and sympathy for people who have no more patience with the government. And have just tossed their arms up and said, you know what, fuck it and fuck you. I'm going to live my life. I completely understand. I mean, obviously I know I'm going to follow whatever mandates are put out, but I understand why someone would just be like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. You have to incentivize people.
Right.
To, like when you're closing businesses, it's like, okay, that means that people cannot work. So it's like, okay, so what are you going to do to help people who aren't working in it?
This is the most fucked up thing to me. The state of California is the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
Over a gazillion other countries. And yet, the governor of Michigan, Governor Whitmer, proposed a state stimulus package. You mean to tell me that fucking Gavin Newsom can't propose a state stimulus package with the 5th largest economy in the world?
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
Gavin Newsom. Give me my check.
Yeah, I'll speak to you directly, Gavin. You're a piece of shit. And if I see you, I'm going to spit in your fucking face. You've completely failed the people of California.
Yeah, I agree. You've
completely failed, dude. And how hard is... It's not hard. You're a Democrat. You should not be... How can you fail the people of California?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
They're already in your favor.
Especially in this situation. It's like... Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. All the logistics and stuff, but it does lend itself to the anger that a lot of people have for this situation because he was also seen with lobbyists and stuff. So it makes you think, it's like, okay, so he's definitely not like he's trying to make himself seem like the man of the people and stuff. He's not. He's in it for himself, just like a lot of politicians are. That's not different for, that's not a special thing. I mean, he's a politician, but like people see right through him. People see right through him. And yeah, I don't blame people for being upset or not really wanting to follow the mandates. Like you said, Quinn, I am going to follow them, but still, it's just like I don't hold it against people that do that. But
I follow it to an extent personally.
Yeah.
I'm going out of town next week. I went and seen multiple family members.
Right.
when you aren't supposed to. But I mean, you only be locked in your house for so long. Yeah, granted, if I'm told to wear a mask in a place I'm gonna wear a mask.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm not gonna stop my whole life just for one thing. And you only could do it for so long, especially when I have a 1-year-old who I don't want to be locked in my house all the time. I want her to experience life and get social skills. And
yeah, it's difficult when you have a kid, I can imagine.
Well, I mean, she's a kid. She needs to be outside getting sunlight and fresh air and vitamin D and stuff,
Yeah, she needs to be out and about. And I couldn't even imagine. I'm glad she is how young she is now, because I wouldn't want her to be in school the way it is right now.
Oh, man.
The whole school system just messed up.
Yeah,
There'll be people in school who will be freshmen, and they'll only have 2 credits, and so you're supposed to be halfway through your year so already.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. Hopefully, I mean, the show is ending in a couple weeks, but if there is ever another incarnation of the show or another conversation that will be recorded and presented to people in the distant future, hopefully we will be able to talk about that we are past this, So
yeah, it's going to be history for sure. And I mean, it is a pandemic that the Chinese government fucking unleashed on us. But I mean, there's conspiracy theories about it, but I don't know.
I'm saying, dog.
What do you mean? What do you mean? No, you're not. Jesus Christ.
Well, I you know what? I think that, first of all, yeah, I would never be around someone who's of Asian ethnicity and be like, the fucking China virus. But
me either. But if fucking China virus, that's what.
But I cannot argue that China's poor FDA regulations.
Yeah.
They kind of screwed the pooch.
Well, yeah, that is proven. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with that.
Someone in China fucked up somewhere. I'm not saying it was on purpose. I'm saying someone took a day off when it really needed not to.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with that. But I don't know. But
it's just crazy how fast it went from, oh, it's only in China. Oh no, it's over here. There's a first case. No, we're all infected.
It's kind of how viruses work, though. Yeah, because they go really quick. Like, people get sick. Like, you just get a little bit. Like, you get a couple like I don't know, virus bacteria cells or whatever in you, and it's over. Like, you're done. So
yeah, my local Starbucks just closed for a week and a half because one of the employees had coronavirus and infected 12 of the, didn't affect them, but they became high risk.
Yeah.
So they have to make them quarantine for 2 weeks. So then now they don't have enough employees to run a Starbucks store.
Oh, yeah, because the
whole Starbucks was closed for
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, things like that very much are real. It's it's crazy that it's sad that people have to do that, but
a lot of middle-aged moms out there losing their shit right now.
A lot of Karens, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there raging. They're like, "Why can't you make me my fucking coffee?"
There's want my goddamn soy latte.
Yeah, dude. Well, Spencer, it's been great talking to you for the past, hour and a half or so. I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm glad that I was able to have you on. We were able to have you on before the show ended. Congratulations on your Niners victory today. And
thank you.
And I don't know, the show is ending, so if you want to talk to the people directly.
So it's ending.
Yeah, it's over at the end of the year. So I'm just giving you the opportunity if you want to talk to the people specifically, or you say anything to us or whatever. If not, that's fine too. But
no, you guys always hold the place in my heart, honestly. And once you told me you wanted me on the show and stuff, I was a little nervous at first, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But it's always nice hearing from you and Quinn for sure, because the UPS store squad has just always have a place in my heart. But
for sure,
I'm glad you guys got me in before the whole thing ended. Once you told me it was over, I've listened to a couple of podcasts, I'm not gonna lie, and
Oh, well, thank you.
it's just nice talking to you, Marco, because you're always doing big things, and I always support whatever path you want to take down in your life and whatnot, with the downer and the music stuff and the podcast stuff and the fantasy stuff. I'm there for the ride for anything that you have to do. So
yeah, dude, I'm thankful that you're always down to be along for the ride with me on this crazy train called life.
Yeah.
So thank you for your friendship, Spencer. I'm grateful for you in the time of the year that we're in, the holiday season. I'm thankful you're one of the people I'm thankful for sure.
For sure.
No, it was nice. It was just nice hearing from you guys, and thanks for your time. Or thanks for giving me the time.
Of course, man. Thank you for making time for us too. I know you're a busy man. We can tell. You got your hands full, so thank you for trying to juggle us. Quinn, is there anything you want to say?
Dude, I just want to echo Spencer's sentiments, man. I think anyone who was a part of the 1040 crew, who went through that bullshit 5 days a week, like the three of us, it was a unique experience, and I think we have a life bond. The team, the 1040 team, man, and so I love you guys, and you guys, hold a place in my heart too, and I always look back at our time at the store fondly. And yeah, Spencer, thanks for coming on the show, man. And hopefully, when all this shit passes, dude, we could all get together for some Kintaro or some beers or something.
Anything, or maybe even another show one day down the line. Who knows?
Or another football game when we're all, hypothetically in better shape. Who's to say?
Even if we're out of shape, we'll make it happen one day.
Yeah, one day when maybe Aaron's back home from floating out in the ocean.
Aaron rallies us all together.
I feel like he would be the one to do that. Well, anyways, Spencer, thank you again. And I guess this is all we got for you this week. As always, please follow the Closers Podcast on Instagram at the Closers Podcast, on Facebook at Closers Podcast, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are the Closers Podcast. I would implore you to subscribe to these things just so you can keep up to date on specifically like when episodes are coming out, since we are ending soon. But just so you know the updated schedule, whenever things become apparent, we will put things on there and make promos letting you know that new episodes of the Closers Podcast are available. But of course, like always, Hang 10 is on Mondays and Closing Out the Week is on Fridays, me and Quinn's individual respective shows. So please tune in for those. Until we meet again, this is the Closers Podcast for Quinn Kalani, Spencer Sifers, and myself, Mark Alvarado. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.